Hello guys, it is Destiny back at it again, and today I have a creepy video planned. So, some people knows, obviously not everyone knows, but when I was just a little Destiny, I was actually haunted. Now, I know this is kind of far-fetched, but I'm telling you, and I swear on everything I love, that whatever it was completely evil. It wanted me dead, it wanted my family dead, and I know this because I remember the dreams I used to have. They were very vivid, and I remember what this entity looked like. I remember it showed me a fake premonition of how it died, because obviously if it's a demon, they never were alive. It's built up angry energy, and kind of like a poltergeist, but not really, because this thing was literally after me. I don't know. Let me just start by saying that I was 2 years old when the first incident took place. Now, to give you guys a good idea about how it went down, I'm going to start with my aunt. Let's call her Judy. My Aunt Judy loved going to haunted houses. It was her thing. She and a group of her friends would always go to haunted houses in the area, and I was living in Nicholasville, Kentucky at the time. That's where I was born. And they would always go to haunted houses, and I'm just a 2-year-old little girl, you know. I'm not supposed to know much of anything. And my mom, you know, I was a baby, so I had to talk to my mom about a lot of this because I barely remember it, but she told me stories, and I remember like some things, like snippets of things, because who can unsee the things that I had to? It's crazy. So anyways, they would always go to this haunted house, and they would come back and be like, oh, this is what happened. And you know, I was never around when they would talk about it. I was always at daycare, and I actually remember this daycare. You know, that'll be a different story because that daycare was fucking whack. Anyways, so, you know, just by them talking about the haunted house to my mom, I guess it drew something. And she said I would come home and I would just be playing in my room, and she would hear me talking to myself. And she thought that was completely normal. You know, little girl, she's just playing with her toys, imagining it. Whatever I was talking to, I called Noni, which she thought was Emily. So, the evil bitch's name is Emily, but I called her Noni because I couldn't really speak. My mom would just be like, who are you talking to, honey? And I'd be like, oh, it's my friend Noni. And she'd just be like, oh, okay, whatever. So I just started talking to it all the time and stuff, and everything was normal. One night, this is where it gets fucking real. I was in my room asleep. It was probably like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I don't know. I'm just assuming. And my mom's in the living room, and it's just her there. Well, my aunt and her friend, I don't know his name, had gone to a haunted house. And the way I can see it, when they stepped on the property, something legitimately said, get out. So, of course, they're gonna fucking leave. Like, I'm not about to step into a house that isn't gonna welcome me. You know, that's just red flag number 1 right there. Well, the way the story had been told to me is before they even pulled up in the driveway, I just start screaming, painfully screaming, kicking, anything I can to get my mom's attention. So, of course, she comes running to my room. A side note, my door didn't have a lock on it. She couldn't get in. So, you know, she's trying everything she can. Finally, she gets in. My curtains are down. My mattress is flipped. She's looking for me. She finds me, brings me to the living room. You know, she's trying to calm me down. I have scratches all over me. Something attacked me. Something was trying to be me. Something was trying to get inside me. And maybe it did. Who knows? But anyways, not long after that, my aunt and her friend ran inside. They were like, oh my God. You know, they were flipping out. The other dude was just like this, saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And my aunt was like, you won't believe what happened. And my mom was like, well, you won't believe what happened to Des. That's what they called me, Desi, talking about it, and they came to the conclusion that whatever they were doing there, something followed them back to me. And because I was a kid, because I was just a baby, I was the weakest. So whatever it was, saw that and took advantage of it because I'm just a little girl. They can control me very, very easily. So that's kind of creepy. So the contact started small, besides that night. That was the first time it actually attacked me. So that same night, my mom finally got me to calm down. And she took me to bed, and I fell asleep, and she was getting ready to lay down. Everyone left. She wanted to sleep on the couch. She said she was laying there, and all of a sudden, she hears something running towards her on all fours, something jolting to her. And all she felt, something breathing on her neck. And it only did it once. She said nope. She got back up. She started saging. And obviously, because the story is going to continue, that did not work. So, there's that. I remember the dream I used to have of this thing. It had no eyes. It was just black holes. There was spiders and snakes coming out of every hole it could. Ew. And it had a blue and white dress, kind of like how Goldilocks wears. I think it's Goldilocks. It might be Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. But it was creepy. And I was just like, ew. You know, little kids have vivid imaginations, but everyone knows I wasn't imagining it because it happened. Everyone knows it's happened. Like, I used to scare away every single one of my family members. Like, everyone was scared of me because I was just that creepy child who had something follow her. And of course, I didn't care. I didn't know. I thought it was freaking God. I don't know. But anyways, there's this one time, you know those like Tootsie Roll Pops? Yeah, I was obsessed with those as a kid. So my mom was just driving down the road and I have a Tootsie Roll Pop. And it was just me and her in the car. My sister wasn't there. I said, hey, do you want a bite? My mom said, oh, no, thank you, honey. I'm good. She says, I legit go, I wasn't talking to you. Creepy. That is so creepy. Like, I would have, if I was my mom, I would have threw me out the car and said, she ain't mine. I don't know where the fuck she went. Somebody found my baby. Because I would not claim me as a kid. Not after that, no. Also, interesting. I used to get slapped. And, you know, squeezed and all this weird stuff. Like, I actually remember this one time. I was sitting on the floor in my room. Okay? And literally before I knew it, like, I was just in there playing with my Barbie dolls or whatever little kids played with back then. You just hear, and my mom didn't know what it was, so she came in there and she was like, are you okay? Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Big old handprint right on my face. How else do you explain that? Like, I just slapped myself? Like, why would I slap myself? That's just stupid. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? No, it wasn't one of those situations. I literally got bitch fucking slapped. Like, bitch slapped. Not cool. Some other things that have happened was my bottles would just disappear. Out of nowhere, just being gone. I used to get locked in rooms that didn't have locks on them. Obviously, the first story where it attacked me. You know, just creepy things like that. And then all of a sudden, my bottles would turn up and they would have literal shit on them. Literal shit. What the fuck? And you know, more things like that had happened. Like, I was in Nicholasville when the first incident took place. We moved, obviously, to Lancaster. And that is when stuff really started getting real. you know, that's when the bottles started disappearing. And as soon as we walk in, you know, the house just smelled like burnt eggs and sulfur. Like, it was just disgusting. And of course, I don't remember that, but that's what my mom said. And she said it was disgusting. So that should have been the first red flag right there, but no judging. So basically, stuff like that just kept happening. And I grew up without a dad. I never had a dad. Never knew him when I was younger. I met him later. But I didn't know him at this point. I was just 2, 3 years old. Never even heard the word dad or daddy or father or anything. Literally would walk up to doors, start scratching on it and say, I want my daddy. I want my dad. If I was my mom, I would be fucking terrified of me. Like, everyone was scared of me. I used to scare the shit out of my uncle. He literally did not want to be around me. My whole family hated me because they were scared of me. They didn't literally hate me, but they were really freaked out by me. They were like, Jessie, good to see you. Lisa, why'd you bring her? She's my daughter. Yeah, but she's evil. Pretty much how the conversations went. So, you know, just more stuff like that happened, and I don't know exactly how it diminished, how it just went away, but apparently one day it just stopped. And good for everyone, you know. Destiny's not possessed anymore. That's good. But I still kind of have a feeling that it still follows me, but it just can't do anything because I'm not scared of it and I don't pay attention to it anymore. Like, I don't know, it's so random. Like, I will just be talking about it, even talking about it now. I'm constantly, like, looking back to make sure. If you all see anything moving in the background, make sure to leave in the comments, please. But, like, for example, I used to babysit my little cousins. And when I would go over there, my aunt, who knew this stuff was happening because she's the reason it happened, I would just be babysitting them, and she said, like, a couple days after I would leave, she'd notice, like, little things. Like, there'd be handprints on the windows, or stuff will come up missing and then reappear, and just stuff like that. So she believes it still follows me, and there are other people who say, hey, you're probably still haunted, you just don't know it. Or maybe the evil bitch is inside me, and that's where the crazy destiny comes in. Who knows? But pretty much the land that my aunt went to is now built over, and there's a hospital there. Not to freak anyone out who goes to the Nicholasville hospital, but Noni might be there. You never know. I know I didn't really tell this story very good, but that's just the stuff that's happened to me, and it's creepier if you live it. I'm sure if you're just listening, it's probably not that creepy. I'm not really a good storyteller in that kind of sense because I was a baby. I don't really remember it. If I would be older and have something like that happen to me, I could tell it really well, but I was just a baby, you know. I literally had to go off of what my mom agreed to tell me, and not much. So, yeah, that's my paranormal story. I hope that you guys liked it. Please don't call me crazy, because I honestly believe if you believe in God or the devil, like, if you believe one thing, you have to believe the other. Like, it's not just one thing that's possible. There's other possible things. Don't go hating on me. You know, I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care if you're a Christian, you know. Somewhere in the middle. I don't care. I don't really have a set religion. I just believe that there's a heaven and a hell. I believe there's a God. And I also believe there are supernatural presence. So, that's my paranormal story. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button while you're down there. Thank you. Bye.